If you have a high IQ, you're like the smartest of the smart, right? But did you know that in America, IQ tests are rooted in eugenics? So the original IQ test was developed by a French psychiatrist named Alfred Binet. He developed both a quantitative and qualitative method because he knew intelligence couldn't be expressed in a single number. Then American psychologist Louis Terman at Stanford picked up the test, and he had some very different ideas about intelligence. He thought intelligence was expressed on a gene and therefore could be studied in a Mendelian way. Remember Punnett squares from high school biology? If you have a green pea that has a dominant green gene and a recessive yellow gene, and then you cross that with a yellow pea that has two recessive yellow genes, you can figure out in a very simple Punnett square your odds of having a green pea or a yellow pea. Terman thought you could do the same thing with intelligence. With this in mind, he revisited the Binet test and devised a quantifiable scale going from idiocy to genius with a single test. And according to his scale, if you had an IQ of 70 or below, you were a prime candidate for sterilization. In the early 20th century, somewhere between 60 and 70,000 Americans were sterilized because they had IQs below 70. And in 1927, there was a landmark Supreme Court case that upheld the decision of a state to forcibly sterilize someone if they were considered an idiot. This is the famous Buck v. Bell case. IQ tests may not be used to determine feeble-mindedness anymore, but still feels like we ought to know the history of a test that pretty much everyone has taken at some point.